Can't help it, love.
It's groovy.
Okay, thank you for joining us at the Stonkscast. This is Ethan.
This is Brandon. Good evening. It's Sunday, January 26th.
And tonight, as we were discussing what we're going to talk about, we thought that it would be fun to go through kind of like a live workshop of looking at a crypto, because earlier today Brandon asked me if I knew about one. I had never heard of it. So we got some questions together, and we're just kind of going to go through this worksheet together, and we'll have this linked somewhere for you to download if you want it later. We'll also have one for just kind of traditional securities and stocks. But we've got 5 questions. We've got some fundamental questions and some more creative questions to go through. But Brandon, when you asked me, you said, have you ever heard of this particular token? And let's find myself here. So it was...
Yeah. It was,
down.
it's called Mesh AI, as I understand it. It's on Solana network. And basically it was just kind of floating around in the Discord atmosphere earlier. And, I decided, why not, a little degen like myself. Why not take a little swing at, some hot altcoin. And, so this was the weekend play, I guess. Well, the Sunday play. So.
Okay, cool.
And
we're
gonna dig into it.
Let's dig into it. So, the one thing that I would look at is kind of what is it trading at right now, and with any crypto, you're going to see much different. They're less than penny stocks. So,
Yes.
It's currently trading at 0.00015 4 6, but 8.
A lot of zeros.
A lot of zeros, yeah. I've seen more. And then we have to ask our question, what problem does this cryptocurrency aim to solve? So if you don't know, it's fine, but can you provide like a summary of what the coin is trying to address? And this kind of goes back to, if a coin is not trying to address a problem, then more than likely it's just used. The value in it is simply to be traded, right? But
Yeah.
is there any problem that you know of that it's trying to address?
Not that I know of. This was very much a, this coin's floating around in the chat. Let me hit the buy button responsibly, with good sizing. But to be honest, no, I don't really know what problem it aims to solve. I do know that AI as a whole is pretty bullish right now, especially in crypto, just with Trump taking office and kind of his initiatives behind that. So that's about the extent of it.
But at the end of the day, it's just a degenerate play.
It is 100% a degenerate play. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And do you know who is behind the cryptocurrency? I think I can figure this one out. But have you done any research on the development team, founders, or the org that's behind it? Are they credible and experienced?
Well, I think you can probably guess the answer to this one. No, I have not, actually.
Okay, so for all we know, it's a bunch of clowns.
A bunch of clowns in their basement, eating a bowl of Lucky Charms as they created this, would be my guess.
Yeah. And that's another question to consider, because if we go back to a couple weeks ago with Haley Welch and the rug pull that she was pulling off with the Haktua coin, I think it was found that I think at least one member of that team was kind of a risky business in the past. But
Mm.
okay. And what about the coin supply, the distribution model, inflation, deflation mechanisms? I know you sent me a little bit of this.
Now, Ethan, these are some questions I can answer, actually,
Yeah.
which makes me feel a little better. Yeah, as far as the supply for this particular one, based off of what I'm seeing, the total supply is 1 billion. Market cap as of, Sunday night is just a little over 16,000. And, on the day, well, at about 6:30 p.m., it was up 300%. And, it's come back down since then. But
Yeah.
it's definitely gotten some attention today, for sure.
Yeah. Um, and how does the cryptocurrency provide any utility? Is that something that you can answer? Imagine you're explaining this to a friend. How would you describe its usefulness in the real world or digital ecosystems? And again, if it just fuels an addiction to finding a play that's an attempt at a moonshot, I suppose that's still a utility at the end of the day.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know about the utility. I'm assuming it's AI related. I don't know how
Yeah.
practical it is, right? But that would be my best guess.
It looks like when you go to their website that they're attempting.
Do they have a white paper?
They don't have a publicly accessible white paper. That's interesting.
Mm.
You have to log in order to actually get past their login page. But they just say introducing mesh, making DeFi simple as it should be. So making DeFi as simple as it should be. I don't know. Maybe they need to work on their copy on their homepage. But so somehow they're trying to make DeFi simple. So they're decentralized finance. If you don't know what DeFi means, this pin is not working consistently, but DeFi is just that, decentralized finance. Any future potential that you see for the coin? Trends, partnerships, technological impact, anything like that?
Not sure. Not sure.
Yeah.
Just leaning into the AI crypto frenzy, really.
Yeah.
I think I'm sure you're well aware of some more, established AI cryptos. So, if anything, maybe a sympathy off that. But again,
Right.
I don't really know what the utility is for this one. There very well could be one, or not. I mean, as far as I know, it was created 4 days ago. So I'm not sure how much utility you can have at this point. But yeah.
Yeah. We'll look at the chart on Deck Screener, and on Deck Screener, the little, it seems like it opened, and within several hours,
That's
it was
insane.
pumped up, and
What percentage is that? Can you tell from there?
let's see if we can zoom out enough.
If not, it's fine. But I mean, that's anyone who's looking at the chart right now on YouTube. I mean, that's absurd.
It's significant. I mean,
To
yeah,
put it mildly.
yeah. It was an order of magnitude. I mean, it was preceding with 3 zeros at its height. It had 2 zeros, so it was a order of magnitude. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it looks like it was 4.5 million
Market cap.
volume at its height. So, which is pretty crazy. I mean, it opened up with a frenzy,
Yeah.
um, and jumped up from nothing to
Something.
to I'm looking here. Within an hour, it was over 500,000 volume. An hour after that, 1.3 million. And that's kind of the peak, was looks like around 1.3 million. And then it just plummeted. Whoever was
Yeah.
involved that time, they seems like a lot of, which I mean, with 1.3 million volume, it seemed like a lot of people were trying to cash in on something. But okay, so
Yeah.
it mesh on Solana. It kind of follows a trend with a lot of um, kind of hit and run coins. It doesn't mean that it can't pop off another time, but
Yeah.
it popped off, and now we're trying to see if we'll get another pop this week maybe, and that's your play for this week in the crypto space is mesh on the Solana network.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the
Yeah,
fun DGen play of the week.
yeah, and I mean it's a couple toss a couple dollars in there.
Yeah.
You're not gonna lose much.
No. 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 Nothing you're going to lose sleep over.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay,
Yeah.
well,
So,
that is something to look forward to, is to see what happens to your week coming up here with that. And besides that, I like to always encourage folks to research to see what's happening with the crypto that you're looking at, because scams in the space they're just rampant.
they're everywhere.
Um, but that was the crypto research PDF. We've got another one for traditional securities, which I'm pulling up now, and you can use that to go over. I'll share here. And you can go over the company's business model, key financial metrics, looking at their P&E, revenue growth, profit margins, fun stuff like that, who their competitors are in the area, how does that company compare to others, and then what is your long-term outlook for the company, as well as how does the investment align with your goals. So if you're someone who's focused on like income, you're going to look at a dividend portfolio. If you're looking at just pure growth, maybe you're looking at kind of riskier securities to check out. But
Yeah.
both of these will be somewhere whenever I figure out how to get it posted somewhere.
Just as a side note too, I think we talked about this on our first episode, but I'm going through The Intelligent Investor right now. This nice little book back here, and taking some good notes on that. Again, that's like the investing Bible, according to Warren Buffett. That's what he's built his entire investing philosophy on. And so, at some point, we will do a full breakdown of the principles of that book, and just kind of get into some of those dividend stocks. For example, Benjamin Graham, the author, The Intelligent Investor, talks about not getting into dividend stocks that haven't held a dividend for at least 10 years. And, PE ratios below 20-25. So he has some pretty clear set parameters for what he's looking for. And, obviously that's what Warren Buffett's kind of, based his philosophy off of. So eventually we'll get through that. I'm about halfway through the book right now. It's a thick one, as you can tell there. So once we're done with that, we'll put together a series where we can go through that for those individuals who want to do more of the longer term stuff. So,
and we'll trade off reading chapters like in high school. I hated that.
Grab your cup of tea, and a nice blanket, and
listen to the dulcet tones as we go through The Intelligent Investor.
Chapter 3.
How not to lose all your money.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's look forward to the week. What's happening this week? What's going on?
Yeah, so we had some spicy news over the weekend with Trump in office. Let me see here if I can share my screen. Basically, there was some drama with Trump and some tariff action going on. And so, yeah, basically now what we're looking at is the potential for some tariffs here. This is from Barron. So stocks poised for lower open after Trump-Colombia dispute. So basically what happened over the weekend is Trump announced a 25% tariff and travel ban on Colombia. And basically the Colombian president said, I see your tariff and I raise you a tariff, and announced tariffs on U.S. imports to Colombia. So basically overnight what we're seeing in the futures market, which I'll explain here briefly in a second, but long story short, basically futures are a good way to kind of gauge where the market's going to open the next day. And so basically the markets are not enjoying this news about the tariffs, and we're basically seeing that now. So what futures are in a nutshell, they're basically just a way for people to trade contracts set for a date further out, right? Futures, self-described there. So basically what we're looking at right now is the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, the Russell. They're all getting beat up right now, pretty bad actually. So
could a good equivalent explanation be it's almost like a less risky option? Options are essentially plays for future growth or future drops in a security.
Yeah, they're basically another derivative, right? Similar to options. And we can do a deep dive on futures at some point that goes beyond the scope of our time today, I guess. But basically they're just a good way to gauge where the market's going to open the next day. And so as you can tell here, this is the NASDAQ futures. We were up here on Friday at the 21,905 level, and right now we're all the way down to 21,532. So huge dive in the markets overall, and so it's really going to make for an interesting week ahead. I've seen some of these setups where the next day they open up and you have this huge gap on the chart between where things were trading at Friday, where they're at on Monday, and we end up climbing back up throughout the day and filling that gap. And so for anyone who's bullish, like I am with my Best Buy position, I'm hoping that's the case. But this could easily continue to trend down. So we'll see.
Is there a lot of volume in future trading, or?
Yeah, I would say it's pretty consistent. There's a lot of people who trade futures, and especially over the past 3-4 years, I feel like it's really grown. Just the eyes on futures markets, more people want to trade it. You also have these different companies coming out now that you can do, you can trade their money basically, and they do it on the futures markets where you have to pass challenges to be afforded by the company X amount of dollars, right? And then you can earn based off your profit. So there's a lot of eyes on futures markets in general. So yeah,
interesting.
As far as the economic calendar, for the week ahead, basically the Fed is going to be meeting for the first time this week since Trump took office. So that should be interesting to see what kind of moves they make there. Obviously, we've had recent rate cuts. We'll see how those continue. I think we have on Thursday GDP at 8:30 a.m. We have initial jobless claims. So right now the projection is 225,000 for for initial
Yeah.
jobless claims. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there.
Love it.
Yeah.
Jerome's got some stuff to say this week. That's for sure. There's like a 97.9% probability of no rate cut. If you follow press conferences for Powell, market expectations, follow his words pretty closely. He's very influential. I mean, the Fed is
Yeah.
influential. I think another thing to note that I was reading on the Superstonk subreddit is there's some bond market stress. So long dated U.S. Treasury bonds are under pressure with rising yields and low demand, causing losses for bondholders. The MOVE index, which is a volatility metric for bonds, has spiked, signaling instability. My understanding is that when there's instability and losses associated with the U.S. Treasury bond market, I guess you could call it, that's not a good sign because you want the U.S. Treasury bonds to be a solid like threshold. I mean, when we were looking at are you a growth income versus like a stability type of trader, if you want stability, you want to invest in the U.S. Treasury bond market. Um, there are
For
some
sure.
economic implications to restore some bond confidence. The market may require a recession driven by forced corrections in equities. That's what Powell's been doing, anyways, for the past year.
Yeah.
Um, the Trump's policies, including tariffs and some OPEC negotiations, are adding layers of complexity, which we're obviously seeing in reference to what you talked about with the futures. The focus on tech and growth sectors could slow some rate cuts, which may disadvantage some small cap stocks, especially at GameStop. Um,
Yeah.
as far as the impact on GameStop, which I'm the GameStop guy, small caps could benefit if the markets struggle and the Fed aggressively cuts rate. But a summer rally in the S&P 500 could be good. Could give us some headwind throughout the rest of the year.
Yeah.
But Jerome, he is a force to be reckoned with,
We're
and
counting on you, buddy.
yeah, we're counting on you, buddy. As far as tech and things to look out for, DeepSeek is a AI LLM rather that was put out by China just over the past couple of days. What's funny is that I've seen where people are talking about how well the tweets out of China are that this is just a side project, and so it kind of like signals that they don't care about it. They've got something even better in their back pocket, and they're just kind of like dunking on OpenAI and Sam Altman. But if DeepSeek really is, crossing some benchmarks that are, blowing OpenAI out of the water, then that could be very interesting to see some instability open up. Which I mean, Meta has been shaking up the AI space anyways because they keep releasing these open models, open source models, which I think there's a prediction that they're doing that because they're trying to kind of crash the AI market, which is, OpenAI is pretty much the leader in that. But we'll see what happens with DeepSeek. It could or could not be anything exciting. And then you kind of gave a look at this week for futures. This is what
It's a
crypto
lot
is
of red.
doing right now.
It's a lot of red.
Crypto
Yeah,
just within the
it's
past couple of hours has just everything is tanking. So
it's
that's exciting.
interesting because I feel like the whole idea of crypto was supposed to be a hedge against the market.
Yeah.
But in reality, really all it is it's like 2x, 3x, whatever the market's doing. If the market's
Yeah.
bullish, crypto's super bullish, and vice versa. If the market is bearish, just look at the charts. It's a
It
lot
is
of red everywhere.
entrenched. It is definitely entrenched with the market.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure that there are tons of institutions that are using crypto as a, like kind of a backdoor
yeah,
doorstop or something like that.
yeah. What's that one in the middle down there? That's the only green
The
chart.
only
What is
one
that?
that's going up is I can't see. It just says market cap Bitcoin.
Hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, let's look
Yeah, but
here.
you got Ethereum, Solana. All these are tanking hard right now. So
Yeah.
it'll be a very volatile open tomorrow. I can guarantee that. Um, but we'll see what direction it goes. Like I said, we
Yeah.
could. I've seen sometimes where the futures are like this on Sunday night, and then overnight, as Europe gets involved, we recover. Um, I think a lot of this is kind of just an emotional reaction to the whole tariff situation.
Yeah.
So we'll see if it holds tomorrow and really throughout the week.
We'll see what our boy Trump does and shakes things up this week. Hey, it's his first full week in office.
It is.
So
It is. So,
I know that there'll be plenty that'll happen this week and plenty for us to catch up on. So,
yeah.
well, that's all I got. Do you have anything else?
No, I think that's it. Just as a friendly reminder, we are on iTunes. We are on YouTube. Please, please, please like and subscribe. 5-star ratings are much appreciated as we continue to put out some content to the people. We're going to try and stick to a consistent schedule, Sundays and Thursdays or something like that. But yeah, like and subscribe. Definitely appreciate it. And until next time.
Cool. Thank you. And that was Stonkscast.